bands now. I like NoFX a lot. I like Rancid more than I like Operation Ivy.
I like Rancid a lot.
I know,
actually. I was a big fan of Rancid.
Yeah, I think that's good shit too. We need to have a punk rock episode. None of our friends will be joining us for that episode.
Yeah, and
none of our mutual friends.
And how come the Wolves will be the one that will probably differ? I don't know, but yeah, the Josh and Jeff especially will not give a fuck about any of these bands.
They will yell at us. Jeff always does the snoring sound when I tell you about the Menzingers.
Yeah, which I did look up, and they're not bad at all.
No, he's a dick.
Yeah, they're really not bad at all.
No, at least Jeff will waver on his hate. Josh won't. Josh hates everything equally. If he hates it, he hates it. Like I showed Jeff that Midnight Express match that we watched that one time, and then he's like, "Okay, that was good." Like Josh will still just hate them. He's gonna hate them.
Jeff hated Big Lebowski for the longest time, and a couple of weeks ago he texted me saying he watched it and he loves it. He thinks it's amazing. So
see, that's the thing.
I think Jeff just has to give things like 18 tries.
Yeah, people will just hate things for the sake of hating it. I would maybe, and I know you're going to be mad for this, I maybe say it might be a hair overrated, Lebowski.
Oh, I don't think so.
But it doesn't suck. Goodman's amazing in that movie. That's the thing. I think Goodman is insanely underrated because, Bridges as the dude is the big to-do, but I think Goodman carries the movie.
Yeah.
I think all of Julianne Moore's shit's just weird. It's just that's where I don't think it makes it the end all be all movie because of her character and the whole plot with that.
Well, we can go back to Boogie Nights on that one.
Well, Julianne Moore was fantastic in Boogie Nights, but the first half of Lebowski I love. The second half kind of wavers a little bit. That's just me.
The second half gets is way more confusing. A lot happens. There's a lot going on.
Right.
And then you end with Donnie dying.
Well, yeah. No, that's sad. There's some real life emotion involved by the time you get to the end of the movie.
I actually saw I don't know if this was real or not, but somebody made their own toy where it was a Donnie toy from Big Lebowski, but it was just the little Folgers can.
It's pretty awesome. That's what he is.
Pretty awesome.
Shut the fuck up, Donnie.
Shut the fuck. You're out of your element. But all right.
We ready?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, man. This is episode 12.
Is it really?
It's 12 now.
Is this technically 12? We're gonna do a little 30-minute 12, a little 20-minute 12.
Well, this is 12. This is a full episode.
Okay, all right.
This is gonna be a full episode.
We're gonna do the watch along.
We're gonna do the watch along. This is gonna be a different episode. It's not a very special episode. We've done those.
Yeah,
we've done those. Nobody got diddled, but we had some special episodes.
This is gonna be one of those standout episodes.
This is gonna be a little bit different. We're gonna shake things up a little bit.
We've done something similar. It's not that different, Well,
I don't know if we've done anything similar to this. We've done some watch-alongs for like our favorite matches.
That's what I'm talking about.
But this one's gonna be a little bit different because we're gonna have some bonus footage for our YouTube subscribers, which I think is pretty cool. But today's topic, we are going to talk about indie wrestling.
Yes,
which is I'm a know-all on that one. That's kind of my bag, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're in it. So
I'm in it. I'm involved in it.
And then you get the spectator point of view over here from me.
And I think it's if we did this podcast 10 years ago or especially 20 years ago, it wouldn't be as impactful to the wrestling scene, the independent scene.
Oh no, I don't think so.
But today the independent scene is huge, and I mean you can tell by the WWE signing up. I mean the top guys on the independents, they're looking for him. They're gonna get him, and they put him in NXT or whatever they're gonna do. To the point where the Kenny Omega story was such a big deal because he could have, he built his name on the independents. He built his name, his brand on his own. It wasn't the WWE making him, or the Young Bucks for that matter, making him the name to be a big star. They built it on their own.
Yeah.
Well, WWE wants that. They want that under their umbrella. And those are the few exceptions that said no. Most of them.
Yeah, half their work's done there.
Right. So independent wrestling, man, is very much a part of the wrestling landscape today. There's multiple levels of it. There is, Ring of Honor is still an indie. It's still an independent show.
How old is Ring of Honor at this point?
They were founded in 2002, so they're getting close to 20 years.
Oh, okay, damn.
They took advantage of when things, with the fall of ECW and with WCW being merged in, where there's a lot of talent out there. And Ring of Honor, what they did was basically took the top independent guys from the Northeast and a couple of the guys from the Midwest and a couple of the guys from like the Florida area, and they just kind of made like a super show.
Yeah.
Which at the time had never been done before. It really hadn't. Your independent areas, you just had your top guys and hope they would draw. They would be in the they call them the after mags. You remember like Pro Wrestling Illustrated and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You can read about your top indies. Like back then, it was Jersey All Pro Wrestling and ECWA, and there was some in Florida, Memphis, Tennessee area always had some independent wrestling going on. But Ring of Honor was kind of the first to kind of make that super show where they let's get the top guys from each of these areas and let's throw on these great shows, and then they start honing out to where we need storylines. But they brought in. I mean, the Ring of Honor in 2002 was the first. Christopher Daniels was the guy who was huge on the independent scene. They had the very first match was a triple threat match between Christopher Daniels, Bryan Danielson, the American Dragon, Daniel Bryan, and Loki. That was the main event for the first ever Ring of Honor show. It was awesome.
Yeah.
And then put those guys on the map. AJ Styles was there. Samoa Joe was there. CM Punk was there. I mean, a lot of the top stars today rose their way through the independents.
Yeah,
they absolutely did.
I believe that you can get on YouTube and you can watch a lot of these older matches.
Seth Rollins is about to be part of the heavyweight title match at WrestleMania. And as Tyler Black he's from Iowa, legit, and he came up through IWA Mid-South, which is like an Indiana-based promotion. But he was here in Cleveland quite a bit, for AIW. And they're guys that made the towns and really made their reputation, and they busted their ass and they learned their craft to the point where they were such talented dudes. The WWE had to have them.
Yeah. You couldn't pass it up.
No, Seth Rollins, AJ Styles, Daniel Bryan, Samoa Joe. It's hard to imagine the product without those guys right now.
No, you're absolutely right.
Those are all products of the Indies, 100%.
I mean, if they weren't all there right now, we'd be seeing a very different product right now.
Sure. Oh, absolutely. Well, we talked about in our previous episode, the 4 NXT guys that just called up, Gargano, Ciampa, Aleister Black, and Ricochet.
Those are all
absolutely all
indie guys
through the independents. So independent wrestling, man, is very, very, very much of part of the landscape of what professional wrestling is. Much more so than it was before. When you came up through the Monday Night Wars, the indie guys kind of stayed the indie guys. Like there's a handful of guys that got brought up. I'm trying to think of. I think we talk about like Edge and Christian maybe being some of the last stars for a long time
that
came up indie guys because they just developed their own guys. They could. They had developmental systems. They had a power plant, and WWE had their developmental systems at OVW and stuff like that. Where
a lot of times they'll bring in athletes from other sports,
sure,
football, MMA, and stuff like that.
Right? Because they're already professional athletes. You kind of got a leg up.
Yeah.
And I mean that sense it makes sense. And then they wanted to teach them the WWE way, which is different, by the way. I mean, I've done seminars and things like that where everything that you do, like. Try to focus where the hard camera is. Now, that being said, in this room as we're sitting right here, the hard camera would be, if the entrance was behind us, the hard camera would be right there, right? So everything that you do, try to do it focusing to that camera, which is something that you're never taught when you're learning how to wrestle, and it doesn't really matter on your shows. You do play to the audience, but the WWE way is play to the hard camera, so you play everything that direction.
Yeah, play to the audience at home.
Yeah, exactly, and that was how you'd have to direct your match as you were doing them at these seminars. So WWE would take these guys who were just good athletes and teach them the WWE way of wrestling, which there's more to it than just that, but it really is. It's a way that they also want to break some of your old habits that you can develop on the independents,
Yeah.
But I'm glad we're having this episode. I've been looking forward to this one for a while, and I'm very glad that I got you, my friend, finally to come out to a independent wrestling show.
Yeah, I don't think this episode would probably be as content filled, I guess. Or,
sure.
If I hadn't, you know what I mean?
Sure,
it would be much of Utah. I wouldn't have anything really to say.
No,
if it wasn't for me going.
You got to get out to your first independent show. Now you've been to WWE shows and stuff, right?
Not since I was a kid.
Not since you were a kid?
No.
So you have a whole different. This is the first wrestling show you've actually attended live since you've had the perspective that you have.
Yeah, since I've been back into wrestling. Okay. Yeah.
But you went out to the Mid Ohio Wrestling Show, our 18th anniversary show out in Massillon, Ohio. brought you in as my guest. And, I mean, why don't you, man, take the microphone a little bit and just kind of tell about your experiences, just even before the show even started.
Yeah.
Because you can give a little behind the scenes of, I can do it. That's not that exciting. You can do it because it's the first time
yours is probably way more exciting than mine. Shit.
But you can, kind of tell everybody, man, like what you just kind of took in, what you enjoyed, what you were surprised about. Like, man, tell everybody, like, how you felt about it.
Well, I guess to start, I guess I didn't really know what to expect. I've heard stories about indie shows and stuff like that. I mean, I didn't think the wrestling was going to be bad or anything. I just honestly didn't know what to expect. But when I got there, you picked me up. I had my camera. We planned on filming a little bit of stuff in the car, but we didn't. We were just kind of shooting the shit. I just didn't really know how to go about it. Really,
I don't think neither of us did. I don't think we didn't have a full plan except for let's get you to an indie show, let's get some footage, and then we'll figure it out from there. Yeah, which is still literally what we're doing right this second.
About halfway to the show, I figured like, fuck it, I'm just gonna enjoy this and film the things I think that'll be filmed, and maybe next show I'll put a little more production value into it.
And if you remember, like talking in the car, I mentioned how like car rides are a big part of indie wrestling. They really are. If you get a car full of dudes that are going to a show couple of hours away, you can learn a lot.
Yeah.
You can learn a lot by just talking about wrestling. You can talk about, when I had a match with this guy, and this happened, we fucked this up, but we saved it by doing this. Like, you learn shit just by sharing stories. So it's actually, the road trips are a big part.
Shit, turn on the network, watch Ride Along. It's
exactly.
It's all right there.
No, I mean, that's they maybe amp it up because they're actually on camera, but that's legit stuff. Like, the road trip stories, the road trip experiences, those are real things. And there's some stuff that I can share, but I'm not going to today. Maybe that'll be a later episode of just road stories.
For sure. That's definitely the way we should go about it.
But that's a real part of it. I think we talked about that on the car ride there.
Yeah. But yeah. Once I got there, I was a little nervous of meeting everybody. Like I've said before in another little piece of content you guys will see, I'll tell you about it later. One of the first thing I noticed is the moment I got there, everybody was shaking my hand. Everybody was like I didn't get any names. I thought that was strange. Everybody was shaking my hand like, hey, how you doing? But they weren't telling me their name.
Now, here's the thing. If they would know you, if you were in the business, you would introduce with your name.
Gotcha. So that's how they can tell if I'm a wrestler. That's how
you know, Mark, nice to meet you. And then they'll give you your name back. If you're kind of a ride-along, they're going to show their respect for you just because you're with me.
Yeah.
As, they're not going to sit there and look at you like a dick because it's just not what we do.
No.
Somebody's coming along with you, it's just like, how you doing, brother?
Yeah.
It's, it's all, you just never expect to acknowledge your presence.
Yeah. No, which, I didn't feel like, it was a little awkward. I didn't know any of these people, but at the same time, I felt like, I was like, cool. I'm like, experience all these things I hear about in stories my whole life. And like, so, because I guess that's like a big thing in the wrestling business. Like, people will legitimately be like, fuck this person. Like, there's reasons, JBL is notorious for being an asshole because he felt slighted in some way. Mostly because somebody just didn't introduce themselves or didn't shake their hand.
It's a real thing. Locker room etiquette
was disrespectful in some way, and that person didn't even realize they were being disrespectful.
Yeah, the Miz has some like horror stories and stuff. Yeah, the locker room etiquette is real.
Chicken crumbs in a bag or something.
No,
like that.
And here's my thing: is I've been around for 16 years, but if I come to a show for the first time and you've only been in the business for 1 year, but you've been on this show before, I will go to you. I will go to you because you're the veteran of this show, at least. So you're more experienced. So hey, how you doing, man? I'm Jerrod. Nice to meet you. And kind of expect that to happen to me on the shows that I'm more comfortable with, but it doesn't, and that's part of your training. There's good trainers. Good trainers will teach you the etiquette. Like, you go introduce yourself to everybody, because the other thing is even a student. Right? The Rock was a student at one point.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? John Cena was a student at one point. So even the students, introduce yourself. Be polite, because you never know who these guys are going to be someday.
For sure.
So, introduce yourself to everybody. And the students introduce themselves to you. And there are some guys that are just dicks to everybody for the sake of being dicks to everybody, but not that much anymore, to be honest. A student, a referee, a guy putting up the ring introduces himself to you, you say hello, man. Like, it's a good etiquette. It is. It's one of those unwritten rules that everybody knows about, but It is. It's good etiquette. And it's just, I don't know. I think we could use that more in everyday life. To be honest.
Oh, I don't.
When you go to a situation, you go to a setting, you go to a show that's being put on where there's a lot of hands involved. Putting on a show like that, introduce yourself to each other. Man, say hello. Who's that hurt?
No, I totally agree. But no, I enjoyed that aspect of it. Like I felt it made me feel cool for a minute. I was like, oh, I'm in the biz, you know. Even though none of these people knew who I was. Although I did wonder if some of them were like, oh, maybe they've watched the show or something before, and maybe.
Oh, that was a possibility. Yeah, no, there's some. I know a few of the guys have at least listened to the show. So.
Yeah. So, but no, I definitely felt welcome right away. But I also didn't want to be like in the way by any means. That's why I like. And you guys will see later that I'm kind of far away from the ring, but like I have a really good seat if you think about it. But I'm essentially sitting at the merch tables. And I liked that because I felt like, cool, this is a way for me to be here and I could do my thing, but I'm also not in the way at all.
Right.
And so that was cool. Yeah, I had a all-around great experience, if I'm going to sum it all up.
I'm glad, man. I really am. And we were, and then you mentioned to me before we got started here that, I don't know. I don't think you meant to be. It's not insulting at all. Like you said, you didn't think the wrestling was going to be, but I didn't think you expected it to be as well put together.
Yeah,
like
I didn't
professional of an experience.
Yeah, I didn't expect the wrestling to be like good. I meant I didn't necessarily expect it to be as good as it was.
Well, and that, and just the way that the show flowed and everything like that. Like, and you mentioned like concession stands and stuff like that. Like, it's a real live event.
Yeah.
And I think that gets lost on people. Like, if I talk to somebody that doesn't understand it, where they say, like, oh, so like WWE, and it's like, yes, it's WWE wrestling, because wrestling is amateur wrestling. It's completely different than what we do. But, so yes, it's like that, but it's not on that scale, but it's a real show. It's also not guys in their backyard being goofy. Like, we're trained. We're trained professionals. It's a professionally ran show, in a real building, which that was a pretty nice building. We had probably I'd say about 200 people. there. I think you even said it too. You're surprised that many people showed up.
Like because I had seen videos prior.
It's not a knock. It's just it's not what you have. No show,
like when you hear indie show, you think of something small. You know what I mean? This, like, and again, none of it was meant to be insulting in any way. Like even when I said I didn't expect the wrestling to be as good as it was, all I'm saying is that the wrestling was fucking great.
Yeah.
And the whole show altogether had way more production value than I expected.
Yeah.
Like, I think the show could use some camera guys. Like, I even thought about it. I thought, like, man, it'd be cool if, like, they wanted me to film this for them or something. Or, like, but all around, I thought it was really well done. There was very little downtime in between matches. Like it was a 2-hour show.
That's what you want. And most of that was my match, which I went over my boundaries on that one. But it's
a good match though. If any match is gonna go long, that was the one to do it.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, man, and it's cool. And with independent wrestling, there's so many factors that go into it. And we talked about this off air a little bit. Where I'm not a promoter. I've never been a promoter. I don't really have any interest in being a promoter. But yeah, we mentioned that they had like a decent concession stand set up where, like that because it was a nice building. It was a hall that was attached to a church, but it's a pretty nice gymnasium-sized building where I feel like they probably cut a deal on I'll pay X amount for the building and then the building gets to make concessions, stuff like that. And that's just what's cool about independent wrestling is that it is a hustle. And a hustle can sound like such a bad thing because a hustle makes it sound like it's illegitimate, but no,
like it's a scam or something.
It's a scam, but it's not. It's absolute live entertainment. Trying to make money, so the boys can get paid, because the guys deserve it. We're out there putting our bodies on the line, putting on a show. The guys deserve to get paid.
Of course.
But B, I mean, here's the thing. So the guys running the show, and let's say that something happens to the ring, you got to have some money put back for that, because if something breaks, a turnbuckle breaks, a rope breaks, something like that, it costs money to replace. There's maintenance involved. And there's maintenance in getting the truck and the trailer and the gas and stuff, getting it there.
There's all kinds of problems. Like, for instance, the ring breaks. The show is then either over or down for a while. You're losing people. You're having people demanding their money back.
So you want a good professional ring because you can't have that happen. You need a good professional sound system.
You need to cover your expenses. You need to cover your
I've been on shows where the ring has broke. I've been on shows where the PA system has broke.
Yeah.
I've been on shows where the microphones have broke. I've been on. It happens. You know, it does. It's the independence. It's live entertainment. But glad you enjoyed, man. I absolutely am. I preach this to you. I preach this to anybody who's watching and listening. If you haven't gone to a show yet, come check out a show. It's $10.
No,
and if you're not thrilled, you're not a huge wrestling fan, it's live entertainment. I'm not a musical fan or a fan of the theater. You know what I mean?
Oh, I was about to say, you're not
I
a
love
music
music,
fan? But not a musical fan.
Theater, etc. But if you can get me to live entertainment for a couple of hours for $10, I'll go.
Yeah, for sure.
And I would appreciate the talent involved. I'd appreciate people telling their stories. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Working, doing what they love. And that's what we're doing. Mid-Ohio Wrestling's $10. It's first come, first serve for seats, so you can get a front row ticket to live entertainment for $10. And I was excited to have you out there because I wrestled, as we're going to watch here in a little bit, Patrick Hayes, who's one of my closest friends in the business.
Match of the night, in my opinion.
I appreciate that. And I thought it was a really good match, and I'm hoping we can share that with the folks here. So what are you thinking, man? Think you want to do a little watch along with our fans?
I do. Like I said before we started the show, we might as fucking well. We can legally,
it's all out there.
You guys are gonna literally watch it with us. It's gonna be right here on the screen with it. Like it's all there. Then if you want to see it in, full screen HD, I'm uploading it separately as well, so you can watch that too.
Perfect. Let's do this one with a little alternate commentary. I'll kind of tell you what we're thinking about while we're in there.
Yeah.
And like Mark said, if you want to watch this where we shut the fuck up, you can.
If you just want to experience it the way it was, hear the ambient noise, the
YouTube
people
afterwards. Yeah.
But ignore the big guy in the black T-shirt in the camera the whole time. I'm sure he's a friend of somebody's because he kept taking shirts.
Was this
stuff.
The Cowboy James Storm guy there?
Yeah, he's there the entire time. So I apologize for that, but I'm sure he's there for a reason.
I honest to God did not even notice that guy being there.
Luckily, he's right there at the turnbuckle, so he's not covering too much, but.
I'm focused on what I'm doing. I never noticed old Cowboy.
It would help if he was a much smaller guy, but it doesn't really.
They're wrestling fans, man. They like their hostess treats.
But hey, whoever you are, sir, thanks for being there.
I suppose so.
You did your job.
I got my shirt back at the end of the night, so I don't know.
So you don't actually know who that is?
I don't know who that is sitting here right now. No, I have no idea.
See, because for a second there, and you people are gonna see him here in a minute if you're not already, and I use some editing magic, but he is right there in the middle of everything. I almost thought that he thought that I was bootlegging the show or something, and he was trying to ruin it.
And he was doing his best he could then with his wide frame, but
that's what I'm saying. He was so in the way sometimes that I was like, is he doing this on purpose? But I didn't
But
legitimately
honestly,
think that.
I never noticed him out there the entire time. It was very focused on what we were
He's
doing.
right there. He's literally. You're
in the middle
looking
of the
right
match,
at him.
And
right
I never focused. As I watched this match, I've watched it once back. I didn't notice them the entire time. I was very focused on watching what we did in the match. So.
Well, then apparently my camera skills worked their magic.
Camera skills are very good, and at least.
Maybe
everybody's gonna be focused on the big guy.
I was gonna say maybe I shouldn't have said anything at all
because I never noticed it at all. I was watching the match and I was part of the match, and I feel it was a really good match. So might have ruined it.
You know what? Ignore everything I just said about this fella and just enjoy the match. But with that said, with that said, let's go ahead and get right into it. This is Patrick Hayes versus Wilbur Whitlock, the Matt Archer Ohio Wrestle Cut.
We're gonna start with entrances and everything.
And if you want to somehow sync it up so you can hear the commentary while we watch it, but you can still watch it full screen with the video I uploaded separately, we are pressing play right now. Wilbur Whitlock versus Patrick Hayes, MOW 18th anniversary. It was January 26th.
The next night was the Royal Rumble, which I watched over at.
Wow. Tomorrow, this will be exactly a month away.
Yeah, which means we're overdue. which I went and watched Royal Rumble over at Patrick Hayes' house, where we had the best pizza there ever was. That's kind of what I'm taking out of it, yeah. And Hayes and I threatened to beat the crap out of each other a couple times, just kind of talking shit. Neither of us wanted to do that. We were both very sore from this match we had the prior night.
Gotcha. Yeah. No, I don't doubt it. Especially, you guys will see, but there's a hell of a backbreaker at some point in this. It's actually my favorite part of the match.
So, it really was coincidentally where Mr. D, there, my manager, he usually wears a sport coat with his mask and a bow tie, but he's managing me and he's managing Bobby Beverly, who also does a white trash gimmick. We're both kind of white trash. Like, he should be white trash Mr. D. So he's kind of nervous about switching up the character, and he shows me what he bought. And I'm like, oh, my God, I love it. He's like, seriously, though? I was like, no, I love it. He's like, should I wear the bow tie? And I said, absolutely wear the fucking bow tie.
Wow,
like, there's no reason not to.
I didn't even pick up on the bow tie until this moment right now. So, shit, he rocked it so well. It just,
Mountain
it was so
Dew
natural I didn't even
t-shirt,
notice.
cut off plaid, mask and a bow tie. That's a character. That's a gimmick.
And you got the split shorts. Johnny Cash shirt, of course.
The split shorts were entirely intentional. I kind of gave him a little bit of a split
So
to
then
fray
you just
a little
split
bit,
the
and then
rest
they
of
just.
it.
I mean, you're bumping a lot. It's going to happen. So.
I did notice that you had one strip dangling down between your legs. Is that some sort of?
No, it's just how those damn shorts rip. But no.
You got some big old hogger hanging down there.
Well, I mean, that's for the ladies to find out. Yeah, go revisit our what was it, jam up with we're talking about Tinder.
Oh yeah,
and then
that's
you can find
right.
out we're not going to talk about that on the Wrestlecast.
The last episode featuring yours truly over here, with jam up.
So
here comes Mr. Patrick Hayes.
Patrick Hayes. Well, the backstory to this is we were tag team champions last year. I legitimately got in that car accident where I wasn't able to wrestle, and we did a storyline thing where I wasn't able to compete. Hayes lost the title in a 1-on-2 match to Chill and Casanova, who you saw out there. So I had turned heel on the prior show. Now, you were out there for the promo that he cut earlier in the night. I did not hear him. Apparently, he did a little stuff close to home. He talked about some things that were, maybe a little personal in his promo.
Actually, I think I got that promo.
I might have to see it because I didn't hear it.
Maybe I'll show it to you after, and maybe I'll throw it at the beginning of the episode.
Maybe I'll have to text Hayes and tell him how
much
of a motherfucker he is.
That too.
But we were, so we're tag team champions no longer. That's the story we want to tell, is that we're partners. We know each other well. And here in Mid-Ohio, we've wrestled each other a couple of times. Our history is pretty well known to the fans there.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, where Hayes is really good at, more so than I am, he's very patient. Even like right there where you're thinking, he's been out there for a little while, you don't hear a ton of crowd reaction. He knows that they'll be coming, so he'll get them. He knows how to build. He knows the patience and stuff with the crowd.
Yeah, that's something I noticed. You guys definitely played to the crowd almost for an overly long time.
Sure, well, and we'll get into it as we go along, but
there's also these two guys in the corner over here. There's black dude with the beard, and then there's another guy sitting in a green hoodie just behind him, like 2 rows behind him, and they were very invested in this match. Look at him right now dancing to Patrick's music.
It's a catchy theme song. I won't take that.
Honestly, it is. But even at the end of the match, and I think I even have it in this video.
Now, see, here's little cues right there you might not have noticed, but I said right away, I went to the ref, I said, hold me back. Because I'm going to come over there and confront him, but, now why would I not just go and grab him? So, as we're building, we're telling a story before the match even starts.
Yeah. No, and I definitely picked up. I love it. You guys are performing right now. And that little kid's loving every second of it, apparently, and his nachos.
And now the ref knows his cue, so I'm going to come, I'm talking. If the ref doesn't get in between me and I just stop on my own, then I look like a doofus, you know what I mean?
You look like you're fighting an invisible wall there.
Right, exactly. Because no, I'm not planning on grabbing him or attacking him at this point, but I
imagine it's much easier for as they put it, WWE superstars to get by with calling shots in the center of the ring with all the noise.
Right, yeah, it's noisy. The crowd, it's big. The arenas are bigger where they're not really that close, so we got to call our spots, but we got to be, a little bit
under
more,
your breath a little bit.
Right,
yeah.
Right, indiscreet about it.
You can't be John Cena out there just yelling.
Well, yeah, Johnny Cena calls his spots pretty loud, yeah.
Oh, for sure. Most of the Botchmania things, it's when you're hearing spots, it's John Cena.
Right.
All right, here we go. Fuck, seriously though, what was that? 8 to 10 minutes intro?
Oh, it wasn't that long. Yeah, come on.
Oh, we did a 40-some minute match. No, you did a 30-some minute match.
No,
10 minutes.
it was 3 or 4, and then we got some stall in here too. But listen,
that's the Irish ale talk.
we're gonna have some stall in here. But here's the, I'll talk about when we get into it.
Yeah. Sorry,
we wanted to tell the story that we knew each other well. Now here's the thing too.
Yeah, this is kind of a Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano thing going on.
Without maybe quite the personal, but I mean the crowd's into it. And now here's the thing: we realized after the match, we had never actually. Well, we didn't get there yet. We had never actually tied up and done any chain wrestling with one another. Like we'd always kind of gotten into brawling pretty quickly, so our chain wrestling wasn't the best because we actually hadn't done it before. We hadn't felt each other out yet.
Yeah.
But here, this is as a heel. The crowd, they're clapping, they're ready, they're pumped, they're ready.
No, this is the most invested in a match the crowd had been all night, I think.
So they're ready for us to tie up and get going. We'll take it away from them. And so they're going to hate me for it. Well, sure, but that's the point. So I bail out of the ring. All right, let's get them back going again. Now, if they're not going here, we're not going to stall anymore. But they're still into it. They're still ready. So we tie up. Dodge the chop. I know the chops are coming, right? It's my old partner.
Yeah.
That, and then you see the guy in the green hoodie. He said, "Come on, man!" Like,
yeah.
We're
He's your biggest fan, dude.
I mean, they want to see it, so they've been waiting for a while. But let's just wait a little bit longer. That's kind of the idea. Now this is what's different performing on a live show and a house show like this. You can't do this on Monday Night Raw. You know what I mean? There's time limits. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to get in, you got to get out, you got to give them the action and your allotted time. We were a little bit more freewheeling with our time involved. So while we got the crowd, we're going to keep doing what's working.
No, I get it. I can see you guys are milking it. You keep popping in and out. You guys are building the tension. You guys are playing to the crowd, essentially.
Yeah, now they're booing, which is fine. This is what I want. I want them to boo. I want them to be upset that there's been no, we had 3 minutes of introductions. We had a couple minutes here of, I don't want to get hit. I don't want to get hit. So, the crowd doesn't like me. They want to see me get hit. Well, I'm going to make you wait for it.
Yeah. There we go, the test of strength. Kinda.
I feel like Johnny Ace here, but man, my arms look pretty good in this. I'm feeling nice and cut up there.
You're flexing, especially right there, dude. Look at that muscle definition.
Man. Not in terrible shape here in this match.
You're really showing off that jerk off muscle right there.
Hey, easy, pal. Must be a week without my little ones because now the referee needs to get in between the week without my little ones because I usually eat a bunch of junk food when I have the kids and stuff. So, yeah. But yeah, see,
I thought you were going somewhere else.
No. See, now I bumped him down there. Well, yeah, I would have more time for that too. But bumped him down there by pulling the hair. No, a good referee, as soon as I get to the ropes, the referee needs to be in between. This guy, he's a little bit green. He's learning. They call him Chumley the whole time.
I was going to ask about that.
Yeah.
Why?
Because he kind of looks like him.
So, okay. All right. I see that now. I don't know why. From Pawn Stars.
Yeah, from Pawn Stars.
Gotcha. Yeah, he's like a smaller Chumley.
All right, so now And we're calling all this live, by the way. We didn't plan any of this out. We're just kind of calling it out there, just feeling the crowd. Clean break.
Wow, really?
Now listen to this pop.
Yeah.
That was one boot to the gut in the corner.
He finally got you real good.
Finally got me, and listen to that pop.
Yeah, dude.
And that's telling the story there. Now it's time to go to work. Here you go. So
hella chops.
I'm gonna.
That's it.
The referee's doing a good job
echoed.
selling. Yeah, it did. This is real life.
Damn, dude. Let's hear these fuckers.
Turn this up a little bit. And we'll shush.
Ooh, I felt it.
You get all four corners. You get everybody in the crowd to see it.
Damn, we should have taken a picture of your chest afterwards.
Yeah, I have video evidence.
Something else I noticed, you have your custom singlet on right now. It says Wilbur Whitlock on it.
Yeah, my custom singlet, but now that I'm heel, I'm trying to be more white trash.
Gotcha.
Like, I seen those girls in the crowd there saying, my God, like, yeah, he chops the shit out of you. Those are legit.
Yeah.
And then you know what you do after that? You get the fuck out of there.
Yeah. Yeah, your chest needs to fucking recover. You probably got the wind knocked out of you.
But here's the good thing, too. And again, this is what's nice about being an independent show. We got the time to tell the story. Because on WWE, if you watch Raw, and they hit those big chops, they're going right to the next thing because they have to. You got to get your stuff in and tell your story in a short amount of time. For me, I'm going to... Let me chop you as hard as I can. Let me smack you as hard as I can in the chest 4 times. It's going to hurt.
No.
So I'm going to let the crowd and everybody else know that it's hurting. It's hurting me. Taking the time to sell it.
You're not selling. You're reacting.
Well, yeah, that's true
part.
too.
I mean, you're milking it a little bit more than
normal.
Sure,
everything's exaggerated. Everything's over the top.
But it's you are legitimately hurting because of it. Yeah, see, right about now would be a good time for me to be in a different spot. But
yeah, when you go to the floor,
but
it's hard to keep up camera work wise and everything. But
it shows the interest of the crowd, though. The crowd's all standing up, trying to see everything. You're just
and
not
you get to. That's a good thing about being an independent show too. You get to be live and in color.
Nope, not everybody's gonna get the best.
So if anybody ever wants to say the fake, everyone wants to call it fake. This is right there in front of you, two grown, fair, decent sized men.
Yeah, sit you right back down.
Hitting each other. You can see this. This is not fake.
Well, you can if you're there. You can't see it right now, obviously. Yeah. But you're still taking chops in a chair. For the audio listeners, Jerrod's getting his ass beat right now. Yes. You got what? You got one chop in on him? That's really, yeah. That was such a Jerrod move. I'm almost, buddy. See, now this looks... He hit that pretty fucking hard.
Sure did. Well, you have to make it count. Again, you're right there in front of the crowd.
Yeah.
You can't fake that. I mean, you see that old guy, he made a reaction there, like, ugh.
Yeah. Oh, look at you.
And that's the story that we're going to tell here. Is those chops, that kind of green hoodie is a big fan of mine.
I'm saying he's your biggest fan, dude.
So, his chops are beating the shit out of me. So what are we going to do? Am I going to, if I can get a chance, I'm going to take out his hand.
Yeah, take advantage of that.
Bending it between the turnbuckle now. And that's another thing too that people could relate to, man. Like everybody's busted a finger, you stubbed a finger or jammed or something. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And anytime that interacts with anything, it hurts, right?
Oh yeah.
So he just chopped the post as hard as he could. So now here's me being a giant asshole, gonna just destroy his hand. And this is an easy story to tell. That's the thing, is you can tell a story in the ring without doing a whole bunch of crazy moves.
Ooh, still milking that hand. But no, you're right. You can tell a classic story in the ring using classic, I guess, tricks. Tricks of the trade, and it still be entertaining.
Well, and that's the whole idea here, is to tell the story, and it's a pretty easy story to tell, right? So.
See,
he's got nothing. He's got nothing behind it.
You're like, chop me now, and then when he does it and you feel nothing, you start laughing at him. See, you're a fucking actor, dude. You're an actor. You're the next Rock.
Well, I'm not the next.
Oh, that was a hella chop right there. He's like, fuck you,
that was a straight
take
punch
this.
to the face, where and he knew that it was going to cost him, but it bought him a little bit of time. So it's a desperation thing.
And it hurt his hand.
It hurt his hand.
Got him to sell that a little bit more.
I mean, it is. It's such a good story to tell, where those chops were beating the shit out of me. I hated him. I hated every last second of it. So I take away your hand. Yeah, I got the advantage. Now I'm in control. Now I'm confident. So him throwing that one right hand was a nice breather, but taking right back over. And then you hear the crowd. They're up, and you bring them back down. Yeah, a good wrestling match should be like a roller coaster. It really should.
No, yeah.
You go up, you up, and then boom, back down.
Yeah, dramatic down.
Yeah. And this is the thing, Testament being a good worker. If I hear the crowd being into him, I'm going to give him a chance.
There it is. Here's the total heel move.
But then, yeah.
You guys solidified yourselves as the heels right here.
Yeah, exactly. I'm telling the referee that he needs first aid, that I'm concerned about him.
Chum Lee, I got a watch. I need you to take a look at.
Chum Lee, might need to get somebody to look at his hand.
There's a pair of Jordans here. No, I'm making Pawn Star jokes now.
What do you think? Does Rick need to call in a guy to watch this match, put a value on this match?
Yeah. He needs to call in this guy.
Now here's the thing: if the crowd, if we're working, the crowd's quiet. Let's get him into it. Let's get him making noise. Both of us can do that, as a babyface or a heel.
So I have to ask.
He's hitting left hand now. I'm selling him a little bit. Not as much as I was, because it's not his natural hand.
Yeah.
Oh, what were we going to ask, buddy?
Oh, yeah, that was the opposite
hand. Oh, the Brett buckle. Right.
But I was going to ask, who stole from who?
As far as...
Who did the shorts first? Patrick Hayes or Buddy Murphy?
Believe it or not, I think Hayes did.
Really?
Yeah, I think
Buddy
so.
Murphy, you thief.
And they got the same sort of hairstyle too. So we're gonna call Buddy Murphy the thief.
Yeah, you fucking thief, Buddy Murphy.
No, actually, I think Hayes got some new custom-made shorts like a month before Buddy Murphy came out, and he even said like, "Everyone's gonna think I'm stealing from fucking Buddy Murphy now."
My bad, Patrick. I didn't mean to throw that out there. It's just the first thought I had.
This is a good spot here.
Yeah, it is. Boom.
Boom. Drop kick in the corner. That is the move that tore my knee up, but it was my fault. I wasn't in the right position, and I left my knee hanging. So when he hit, his whole body rolled into my knee and tore my knee up. That's the most real injury I think I've ever had wrestling.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't realize. You didn't even mention that night.
It didn't tear it up this night. It happened prior.
Gotcha.
No.
I thought you were saying it happened right there.
No, it happened in a match. The last singles match we had a couple years prior to this, it was like the first spot of the match. And I knew my knee was shot, but I had to get through the match. And we had a 20-minute match, which might seem disappointing considering this one's 30. But
yeah.
Going up top. It's not really my domain. That drop kick in midair, there's just no good way to take that. There's just not. It's just you're going to take it. It's going to stop your momentum going forward and knock you backwards, and it's a bump.
And no matter what, you're taking a top rope bump right there.
But go climb to the top rope sometime, Mark. It's scary up there.
I've never done it. I'd like to do it for fun one time, for sure.
It's not fun. It's terrifying.
No, I mean, depending on which direction you're going, it could either be
Well, you got to go down
8 feet or at least
about
5
11.
or 6 feet.
Oh yeah, to the bottom. Yeah, when you figure where out your eyes are, Yeah, you're a couple feet higher. Like your eyes looking down is over 10 feet.
Yeah, you add your whole height to it as well. Yeah.
Right.
It's coming. I could feel it. Ooh, there's the kick.
There's
and there's that
the Bobby Eaton backbreaker.
Fucking backbreaker I'm talking about. I was legitimately, I'm like, oh, is he okay?
Well, yeah, you just feel that one. You can take it safely, but you still feel it.
Also got to give a shout out to Evan Wiley and Drew Wiley, who I'm sure you see more of Evan in the crowd here, but they're standing right back there the whole time here.
See, right there, we could sense the crowd coming down a notch. So that's hazy. So you do the clap, you do the slap the mat, you get the crowd back in because we got more stuff coming. As you know.
Yeah.
But we got more stuff coming. So you want the crowd to be hot for it. You don't want them to be sitting on their hands as we go into this a little more high impact stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Little slop drop,
dude.
And there's some of the things now, I mean, you can only get some camera views where you are, but, I'm selling that with the wide eyes, with the I can't believe it sort of look. Like, there's so many little nuances that go, you can tell so many stories with your eyes. Like, you really can. You can tell desperation, anger, fear, anticipation. You can tell so many things with your eyes.
You're doing it right there, too.
Yeah, frustration. Get up. I'm going to put this shit away.
Look at that face, dude, you're making. You are selling. That is Triple H right there. Boom.
I've taken that every time. There's some impact on that one every time.
I believe it. You're running at him. Boom. Boom. Code breaker.
Break the code.
Now to give the viewers a little bit of my perspective here. I have no idea the outcome of this.
No, I never told you.
You did not fill me in on anything that was happening.
And Drew Wiley out there was in the wrestling business before me. He's the one who got me in.
Yeah.
Now, granted, he's been out for a long, long time. And he told me, he's like, you got me on every one of those falls.
Yeah.
So that's the thing is if you know the outcome, no, who wants to know that? Who wants to know how the movie's going to end?
No, I wouldn't want to know.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is I didn't know any of this. And you can tell this by how the cinematography style, I guess, changes. Like, I'm zooming in a lot more.
Sure.
I'm going in.
Because anytime this could be it.
Yeah, exactly.
This
like
could be
I'm filming this as a wrestling fan.
And the best comparison is movies, because movies gives you falsies too.
Yeah.
Movies gives you like oh man, that's it? Like, oh wait, there's more. And
you can just tell by the way I'm shooting this match right now that I am just as eager as everybody else in the crowd to see how this is going to end up.
Which I know I talked to you before we got out there too. I was like, man, I appreciate you like recording it for me, but like I kind of also want you to just take it in as a fan, because
and that's another thing you'll notice too. Like sometimes like you guys will be moving and you'll be kind of out of frame sometimes because I'm not actually watching the camera. I'm actually just watching the
match and the camera's just on it.
And I'm like, oh shit, I gotta zoom out.
Yeah, you get lost in it, man. You really do.
So yeah. But this is one of those matches that I was like, I want to get the entire thing. So like most of it, I did only just shoot clips, and you guys will see that. But this is one of like two matches that I wanted to get the entire thing.
So this right here was all Hayes' idea for this spot, and the spot coming up is it's a dangerous spot. There's just no two ways around it. The ring, for anybody who doesn't know, the ring is lots of boards laying across. There is some padding, and it has give, but it's not a lot of padding. I mean, the bumps still hurt. But if you go to the outside of that, to the apron, there's no give out there. There's just not. It's every last bit of it is
it's
stiff.
The main supports of the ring.
Exactly. So
it's the sturdiest part of the ring.
Right. So to take a bump out there is not friendly, and you're about to see why there's not a lot of bumps out there.
Boom.
Hit the cutter, which is my finish, on the apron. and I kind of ate it hard to the ground. And I told Hayes this too. I realized halfway down, I'm like, you're gonna eat that apron really hard. I don't want to, even though you can't really see it from where your point of view was, the fans could see it. I crashed hard to the ground because I didn't want to crumple like a sack of shit while he took that hard bump. I wanted everything to look impactful. I wanted me to slam down hard to the ground as I slammed him hard to the apron,
Yeah. Shit. What is it? Is that Joe right there? Over there? He saw the whole thing?
Joe who?
Hirschberger?
No, the bald guy over there?
Yeah.
No, that's somebody else. I don't know who that is.
I was about to say, we can get him on the show. He can tell you the whole fucking story, probably.
The Joe, I think, is behind the turnbuckle. If I'm not mistaken, actually, there. I can see him only half of his head because the sun's next to him there in the blue.
Oh, okay. I got a quick glimpse.
Yeah. Making it at 9. Crowd is hot because, that could have been a finish very easily. 10 count out.
Yeah.
Crowd's hot for it. I'm selling the desperation, selling the frustration.
They really are.
Hayes is the baby face. He's selling his fight with everything he's got.
Slap to the fucking forehead right there. Still selling the hand.
Yep.
I love that he's still selling the hand. Fuck, for all I know, it could legitimately hurt right now.
Well, that's the idea.
Yeah.
I hope you do think that.
You're absolutely right.
And this, I've taken this move a few times, and for some reason it didn't pop off correctly. And that his right knee drilled me in the jaw, and that's my fault because I should have popped a little harder. It knocked me silly.
Did it?
Yeah, it sure did.
You can tell.
And then this.
Oh yes.
The frog side. Look, Hayes is not a small guy.
No.
He got great. Dude,
and he nailed that.
That killed me.
That was spot on, though. That looked fantastic because it was.
And me selling right here is not really selling. This is me just trying to believe that I'm alive because that crushed me.
I bet.
Got every last bit of that frog splash.
Shit. Yeah, man, he blew your shorts completely up on that one. I just realizing that.
I'm not even slightly worried about that one. By the way, my hair looks great there, so tell Jeff Hughes to fuck off. Look how thick my hair looks. Top down view. Top down view. Jeff Hughes in your blonde spot. Go fuck yourself. You can knock me out, but you don't have as nice a head of hair.
Look at this chick's face in the crowd with the green jacket. This whole time that you were selling down there, she looked like she wasn't positive whether or not you were dead.
Hayes gets good smacks on his shot.
That was a killer face shot. He just.
I don't smack anything on my stuff. My shot. If you can hear that pop, it's live rounds.
Ooh. Yeah.
I mean, you hear those cracks?
You hear
those are real. That's just very real. Elbows and forearms on flesh. We're bringing in some live rounds.
No, you can tell which ones are emphasized and which ones are not. The really loud ones are the emphasized ones, but then the ones you hear and sound legit, those are the legit ones. Ooh, that was good. That was a face crack.
I see that guy in the red shirt. He went, I mean, we were timing up the 3 counts well. The referee is doing a great job in selling.
Sold that so well.
This kid in the green hoodie out there is pissing me off. He is not impressed. But that was a good false finish. And again, like we mentioned, you're sitting there watching them. You don't know what the finish is. Any one of these could have been the finish.
Yeah, for sure.
Drew Wiley had no idea what the finish was. Any of them could be the finish.
No, at this point, I'm definitely on the edge of my seat. Like I said, the camera filming is definitely.
And now he's finally getting the fighting spirit in your hand. Back to chop the fuck out of me.
Ooh, God.
Don't think I don't feel every one of those.
Oh, I'm sure you do. My Lord. I've watched this like 4 or 5 times now, and that still shocks me.
This is what we call the greatest hits. We've done this spot a handful of times.
Ooh, nice.
Always works out well.
Was that an RKO?
Yeah.
I didn't pick up on that at all until now. Mr. D is not happy.
No, he is not. Probably because he's tired of being out there. We've been out there a long time at this point.
Wow.
But I'm going to tell you, and I don't know. I hate even saying it because I don't like really tugging on my own dick that much. But like, I don't feel like this has felt like a half an hour. You know what I mean? We have been sitting here for over half an hour with the camera on this, watching this match, and it doesn't feel like it.
No. Shit, I mean, look at the timestamp. What does that say?
We're at 31. We're at 31 now.
Right
36.
there.
There's some post-match stuff.
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel like it to me.
No, it doesn't. I feel like we're at like 20 minutes. That's how it feels to me.
Yeah. And I mean, I think that's a good thing. If you can keep the action hot, keep the crowd invested, keeps us invested, that's really the testament of a good match more than anything. If you can keep the crowd invested and really wanting to see more, like this right here, the crowd's still into it. I'm calling for the brain buster. This is Hayes' idea, by the way, 100%. I'm calling for the brain buster. We're slow. As soon as I throw the hand over, boom, he hits me, brain buster. I mean, crowd digs it. And Hayes told me, so this is his bag because he's pumped. He didn't really give me a chance to sell and feed into these.
Yeah, you couldn't even really sit up.
Yeah, I was trying to sell him, but he told me, he's like, I was fired up, man. I was
you can tell. He definitely is.
Unload him.
I don't blame him. You guys are killing it right now. Mr. D.
Mr. D messes everything up.
Getting the DQ. Spoiler alert.
And by the way, if you didn't think I was dreading that second frog splash the entire time after the first one, whew.
Oh.
Yeah. The second one wasn't nearly as bad, but it's a little bit of a shame. And now the reason, a little peek behind the curtain, the reason why they wanted the DQ finish was for me to not take my loss like a man, which I'm doing finger quotes. So for me to look, this guy in the green hood, he's still pissed.
Yeah, I had to zoom in.
No, he is not like this shit at all.
They were the biggest fans in the crowd.
So
for sure.
I didn't take my loss like a man, so that meant that I would be facing somebody who's not a man next time, which is Super Oprah.
Gotcha. Well, here it is.
Because my thought process was, give him a fucking finish. We're going to have it for 30 minutes. Give him a finish.
Yeah.
But that's the reason why we did it.
Well, people, you're going to get your first glimpse at Super Oprah right here.
The lovely Super Oprah.
Don't turn that dial just yet. Super Oprah's here is coming. Boom, Patrick Hayes gets a title shot. Well,
because the thing was too is that if it was going to be a number one contenders match, then I wouldn't be disqualified to be fighting to the end. But we didn't know it until
yeah. I love the way you're selling this shit right now. You still think you won?
Yeah, of course you do. You're a heel.
March 9th. Wilbur Whitlock versus Super Oprah,
and the
ladies
crowd
and gentlemen.
Popped.
No
and here
fucking
she
way.
comes.
Look at that face. Look at that face. That's the face you made right before you went and cuddled up next to a dryer with a bath mat. That's the face you made right before
House of Hughes. It was equally fucked up for different reasons.
There she is, everybody, in all her glory, Super Oprah.
She says, okay. She takes poor Cody, and we get the hell out of there.
You piece the fuck out as soon as you can. And then apparently Cody gets the brunt of what you were going to get. How glad are you that you are not enduring this.
No, first of all, glad. No, me, I'm a great friend, and I let Cody go ahead and go ahead and reap the benefits here.
So Cody wanted this.
Well, yeah, I mean, who?
This is an honor.
Who wouldn't? Is the thing. Who wouldn't want this?
I guess
so.
You're
Me
right.
being a great friend, I let Cody go ahead. I get to have my piece of Super Oprah on March 9th. Cody can have it here tonight.
Yeah. Anybody wondering why the camera went wonky all of a sudden?
Oh, because you got excited.
No, well, yes. Honestly, if I'm honest, that's it. No, what it was is there was a lady who was sitting next to me at these little merch tables, and she had to get behind me a couple times during this match, and that's the most evident time of it. All this. Yeah. The voice going deep right there made that. Violate me touching all this. Like that made that right there.
Oh, Miss Super Oprah, I have a date. I have a date with her on March 9th.
March 9th, Wilbur Whitlock.
I'm in some weird stuff, but I don't know. I don't know if I can handle what Miss Super Oprah has to offer on March 9th.
A little glimpse behind the curtain here. I talked to Super Oprah right after this because she came over.
Right after that? You talked to her right after that?
It was.
You son of a bitch.
And she came over and all smiles. She looked like she looked like she was having a fantastic time.
Well, she knows that she's going to be in the ring with a real stud.
And I let her know that she did a fucking awesome job. She said thank you, and I immediately fell in love.
You fell in love?
Oprah.
Well, I might not. You know what? If you'd like to meet her a little bit more, come out on March 9th, and I'll give you a hands-on introduction.
I'll be watching my boy Jeff Hughes win his UFC debut.
All right,
but I will eagerly await the results and any kind of video footage that pops up.
Fair enough, man. Well, this has been a lot of fun.
This has
been a lot of
This is a shorter but sweeter episode of Ohio.
Well, man, I think it's gonna be right on par. We talked for a little bit. We got to watch a good match and get to have some inside point of view and what goes on, inside your head of a wrestling match, and then for anybody who follows us on YouTube. Some bonus stuff coming up.
Exactly.
Mark has a lot of footage. We actually have some really, really cool footage, I think, of us in the car after the show.
Yeah.
Talking. That I think
we'll
give.
Well, to sum it up, my plan is I'm going to make kind of like a little best of compilation of the whole night. We filmed a little bit after the show. Going to throw that in there either at the beginning or the end. I'm not sure whichever way it fits best. Yeah. You guys get a whole little look at the whole night. I'm going to throw what we just watched up in its entirety, full screen for you guys to watch.
Should be awesome, man.
Anybody who's a fan of NXT, I believe he was called Sawyer Fulton on NXT.
Sawyer Fulton.
He was a member of Sanity.
Sanity
the
was
original version
original
of
Sanity. Yeah.
He was replaced. He got
replaced by Killian Dane. He got hurt, and then he got replaced by Killian Dane. And then what he's doing right now is kind of a wise thing where they got a lot of talent. They got a lot, as we talked about in the prior episodes, a lot of talent in NXT and the main roster. So what he's going out right now is he kind of reinvented his character.
Yeah.
He's gone out and doing the independents again. And you got Sawyer Fulton versus Ethan Wright, which is a really good match. I went out and watched that match myself.
Sawyer Fulton versus Ethan Wright. Ethan Wright was
very, very good match.
Was part of this night, and I got that match in its entirety as well. That'll be up for you guys to watch.
The only thing that you didn't get to be a part of, because I had to get back home. My dad was actually watching my kids that night, but hit those after parties. We go to the Erie Street Pub, we get a bite to eat, we get a couple beers. You get some more stories and some more footage from an after party. So maybe the next time you're available.
No, next time for sure. That would have been a nice little end.
That would have been the end cap. And you know what? There's always Indie Wrestling Part 2 on the Ohio Wrestlecast.
Right.
I got more stories and more matches to come.
I'm sure there'll be a whole. This may be the first, but it's certainly not the last time you're going to see an indie wrestling edition of Ohio Wrestlecast.
I like it a lot.
Ohio Wrestlecast's not going anywhere. We may have been gone for a little while, but we're always going to come back.
We were. We took off for a little while, got a little busy, got a little lazy, call it what you will. Got a little drunk, but the Ohio Wrestlecast will be back, and we got a couple more episodes. We got some WrestleMania to talk about, we got some more indie wrestling to talk about.
Yeah.
Plenty of wrestling to talk about, and I'm looking forward to it, man.
Me too, sir. Me too. With that said, it's been Ohio Wrestlecast number 12. We're getting up there. That's pretty much all I have to say. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Please
Wrestlecast.
do. Definitely, if you're not on the YouTube yet, if you haven't followed us on YouTube, please do. Please start following us on YouTube. You're going to see a lot of cool stuff. If you enjoy what you watched tonight, we got some cool exclusive footage from the show, from after the show, coming up on YouTube exclusively.
Yep.
Should be really, really cool. Yeah, man. Been a lot of fun. Thanks for coming down that journey with us, man. Talking some indie wrestling, watching one of my matches for the first time here on the Ohio Wrestlecast. It was cool. It was a lot of fun.
Yep. I think that about sums it up. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time.
Bye, Internet.